After a 2.5-hour drive, I've arrived here on the shores of Lake Seneca in the beautiful Finger Lakes district of New York in the town of Watkins Glen. I'm gonna go explore Watkins Glen right now. So it is pretty late in the day to be starting this. This is a very ambitious day trip from Buffalo because it's already almost 5 p.m. So I'm gonna get the most in that I can. He said it'll take me about an hour and a half, so I'll probably emerge right around dusk and then have a little bit of daylight to get me up to Geneva along the lake. That's if I walk fast and don't dawdle too much. But again, this is considered to be the best state park in the United States, so I'm really excited to check out these waterfalls today. So Watkins Glen is basically a really narrow gorge chasm, the product of erosion basically. So this small river has completely eroded and created this canyon. So there's tons of waterfalls along the course of the chasm, and I'm going to be walking a little portion here of the Gorge Trail. So it's going to be about a 2-mile loop, I'll say, roughly. Take me about an hour and a half with stops. So here we go. For those who are going to be making this journey here to Watkins Glen, the price of admission is $10 US, and it's collected at a toll booth. So it's not on the honor system or anything, just like a national park. The admission is for the day. They do close right at sunset, and you're not allowed to stay in past sunset. So there's also no animals allowed on the trail. I've actually spent a lot of time in cities lately. Toronto for 3-4 days, Buffalo for 2 days. So I'm definitely enjoying being out of that urban environment and here into the heart of nature. Beautiful. Such a beautiful place. Look at these canyon walls. And that, my friends, is Watkins Glen. You can see the trail down there. And that's, a lot of people start down there at the main entrance and then they walk this way. It's a little bit longer, but this gives you some good views from above, so beautiful. It's gonna be a rough hike to get back up. Oh my goodness. That's so cool, and beautiful fall colors starting to come out, so it's a good time of year to go. Cool place. All right, this is the entrance to Couch's Staircase, and this is 120 stairs down. It is definitely slippery, but also a really long way, and there's no handrails. Luckily, it's not that bad. It's a bit wet though. Really cool experience. And I mean, yes, it's 5 o'clock p.m. and the day is gone. It was a bit of a hike to get out here, but I really wanted to check out some of the off the beaten path parts of New York State, things that I would need that rental car for. But yeah, this is really cool. Wow. Actually, way better than I thought it would be, ironically. I thought it would be good, but this is just outstanding. Reminds me a bit of Wisconsin Dells, but on a grander scale. So this is the Minnehaha Falls right here. Absolutely gorgeous. And this over here is the Cavern Cascade. You can actually walk behind the waterfall there. Wow, very cool. It's just a stunning location. Oh my goodness. There's not one bad site here. Really cool place. I was actually wondering how good this might be, but I had no idea there's this many beautiful waterfalls here. It's the force of that water. Oh my goodness. And I'm gonna walk behind it right now. Wow. Definitely worth the experience. This is so cool. Look at the force of that water tumbling over the edge. Wow. What an incredible state park. New York, you are lucky. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful and so accessible. So unbelievably accessible. Such a cool waterfall. And there's where I just was. Looks like not much force from up here, but wow, such an incredible gorge. I am stopping way too much for my own good. Unfortunately, I just don't have daylight on my side today. So I got a long ways to go to see the rest of these falls before dark. Gotta keep moving. And this is Lover's Lane Lookout. So this is actually the only stretch of trail that is the original from 1935. And you can see tiny little waterfall right over here, right off the Lover's Lane Lookout. So bad news, it is spitting, it's raining. So if I don't get out of this soon, I stand a good chance to actually destroy this camera, which has zero water protection, zero. Hardly anybody out anymore though, they're all gone. So I'm one of the only people on the trails now, which is probably a bad sign. I gotta get moving. I'm definitely soaking up the experience probably a bit too much. Not that I don't wanna soak this up, but it's about 6 o'clock in the evening and it's actually gonna get dark here in 30 minutes. And this is the Central Cascade right here. So you can see a little stone bridge there on the very top of it. But boy, was this worth it, even for the short time I had today to experience the beauty of Watkins Glen Gorge. So cool. So I was tempted to montage this, but the sounds just need to be heard. I don't want to put music over this. So I'm heading over to the Mile Point Bridge, which is the end of the Gorge Walk. And that'll come in about, 10 to 15 minutes. Then I'll be back to the parking lot, but boy, was this worthwhile. There's small pools of water, just, it's so majestic. So I'm officially the only person left on the trail now. Most people have turned around, they didn't go this way. So there's a lot of uphill climbing, but well worth it. The views change with the route. And there is beautiful, beautiful Rainbow Falls. Wow. That is a stellar waterfall. And you can see it's pretty wet here, but amazing curtains of water right here. Absolutely outstanding hike. It is spraying a lot though, and I'm worried about my camera, but man, I'm hoping I don't destroy this thing, but it's worth it. This is so unbelievably majestic. Oh my goodness. Such an incredible part of the USA. Wow. Just a curtain, a shower of water right here. I gotta keep moving. It is getting dark and I'm not even at the last bridge yet. Wow. I got a ways to go yet. All in all, it's a 2.5 mile hike. Absolutely majestic. And on the other side here, you get a good sense of the depth of this gorge. All right, I'm pretty much making my way out now. Another small waterfall here near the Frowning Cliff. And the Mile Point Bridge should just be right up this staircase and a little bit beyond. You can see it's getting dark now. Kind of makes sense why there would be nobody else in here with me though. I don't think anybody else arrived at 5 p.m. This is actually much more enjoyable than Niagara Falls. At least for me. Maybe it's just the novelty of it, but it is just absolutely amazing to walk in this narrow canyon and just see this much natural beauty. And for $10 and, 2.5 mile walk, it is just outstanding. And there it is. Mile Point Bridge, which means I walked a mile. Great. And that is it. Oh, it's a lot more bright out here, thankfully. Wow. Whew. Beautiful historic bridge too. Wow. So that's it. That's the end of the Gorge Trail. So you can see that once you reach Mile Point Bridge, it's pretty much a ditch. The gorge is gone. That's about it. But on this side, other side of Mile Point Bridge, that is a gorge in full force. Oh my goodness. And it gets deeper and deeper and deeper as you travel the length of it. So a half mile from here to the steep staircases that'll take me back to the parking lot. So wish me luck. I made it. That was pretty easy actually. It did start getting really dark in those trees though, but I am here back at the south parking lot and ready to head along Seneca Lake now towards Geneva, but it's gonna get dark, so don't expect much. I've made it here to Geneva, New York, which is one of the most beautiful towns here in the Finger Lakes region. Lots of cute shops around here. Really charming little town on the north shore of Lake Seneca. Really old architecture too, as you can see. Beautiful buildings here on the main strip. Well, that is pretty much a wrap here in Geneva, New York. Yeah, pretty cool place. Well, I just checked into my room here at the Holiday Inn in Auburn, New York, which is about 25 minutes outside of Syracuse, at the beginning, the eastern end, I suppose, of the Finger Lakes. So pretty comfortable property. I decided to drive out here because I did have some points to redeem for this room. So this saved me about 150 US dollars. But anyway, pretty well-appointed Holiday Inn. Beautiful little property, and it's a huge room too. I mean, if you had a family, this would be great. I'm gonna try to get an early start tomorrow so I can see as much of the Finger Lakes region as possible. In any case, have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.